Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
What is that?
It's actually an old school antique police baton. But the plus side is, in case that's not working for you, it can hold a whole canister of tear gas.
Well, that's different. Is it legal?
I believe so.
I'm afraid to touch it.
Really?
I don't even want my fingerprints on it.
This baton is special because it has so much history. They used it in all the police departments. They used them in the prisons. I feel an antique collector would love this piece. I'm selling the baton today for $1,000. The least I will take is $600.
This is interesting. Where'd you get it?
At an Army surplus store.
You've never fired it, have you?
No.
Okay. Some of these shoot shotgun shells, some of them do tear gas. Are you for sure this is just for tear gas?
Did a little bit of research on it, but yeah, I mean, it's what they used in the prisons and whatnot. It's pretty cool.
You know, I'm a little hesitant because the ones that shoot shotgun shells are completely illegal and you never, ever want to get caught with them. It's like 20 years in prison. If it's a tear gas one, people actually collect them. But I'm still not sure those are legal in this state.
Okay.
The baton or billy club has been used by police since there was police. They've made all kinds of different versions of it, some that shoot tear gas, some that have stun guns at the end of them. But the original baton is tried and true and always will work. So if it is legal, what are you looking to sell it for?
Kind of thinking about $1,000.
Let me have a friend of mine come down and take a look at it, because I don't even know if this is legal.
Do I look like I'd bring you something illegal?
No, but you might have bought something that you didn't know was really, really illegal. So let me make a phone call real quick and see if I can get a buddy down here.
Okay. Kind of nervous what the expert's gonna say. I don't understand exactly why there's so much hesitancy. I'm nervous.
Touch at your own risk.
He's scared.
You're worried about this thing?
It doesn't seem legit. I know they made two different types.
They did. I think the concern is some were easily converted to shoot shotgun shells. So this was actually made by a company called Federal Laboratories. They were in Pennsylvania, and it's a tear gas billy club. So it's two weapons at once. So in order to load it, you break it in half. You'd insert the tear gun canister on this side, and it would be held in back here. You'd screw it back on, and now it's loaded and ready to go with tear gas. Now it has a safety. So you could use it as a baton or a billy club, and this is very popular. They made this for law enforcement, used in prisons, asylums, even military police.
Absolutely.
This tear gas billy club is historically significant because it's one of the first examples of a non-lethal weapon. Tear gas is much friendlier to people than bullets. So if you can use that to subdue them and the baton as a last resort, then that's better than shooting someone.
I'm really afraid to even touch this thing. Is it legal?
I'm not an attorney. I have not had one myself or tried to sell one.
So just for argument's sake, it could be used as a shotgun, right?
Could you get a shotgun shell in that and actually fire it? Maybe. And if you can get off one round, ATF says it's a sawed-off shotgun, essentially, which is so illegal.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't take the risk.
Okay.
Sorry.
I appreciate you coming down.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
I'm really sorry.
Wait, fingerprints
Thank you.
off this?
Yeah, get mine off too, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's too gray of an area to deal with. I'm gonna have to pass.
All right, I could debate it till I'm blue, but I understand your point of view, so.
Just don't get pulled over on the way home.
Thank you. I don't really want to be carrying around something that's illegal. So I'm gonna take it to the police department, have them evaluate it. If I find out that it is legal, then I'm gonna bring it back and I'm gonna try to sell it again.
Got some badges. Historical from Nevada.
Impersonating an officer is illegal.
Yes, it certainly is. I'm a retired law enforcement officer, and I've been collecting for about 40 years now. I specialize in California. These particular badges were really significant to Las Vegas, and so they're probably going to be worth more money here than in California, where I collect.
Do you know what years these are?
I can't say exactly. It could run anywhere from the 1940s all the way up through the 60s.
The neat thing is you have one from the police department and one from the sheriff's department. Most people don't realize that, like, the Strip is not technically in Las Vegas. Literally, the entire Strip is in the unincorporated part of Clark County, Nevada. In the early 1970s, they merged them into one organization, which is now the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. And we have an elected sheriff.
Right.
So it's sort of convoluted. I guess it works.
It works.
Special Deputy Sheriff.
That's really interesting. What I believe this badge is what was called a juice badge.
They would give these to like the security guards at the casinos and
Certainly.
like some of the factories in town.
Exactly.
They weren't actual cops. They weren't paid by the city or anything like that, but they had power through the sheriff's office.
Right.
If you got caught cheating at cards in a casino, the police didn't show up. You know, some guys with like bent noses would come over and teach you a lesson in card playing. The history of law enforcement in Las Vegas is pretty interesting. In the 1940s, they would give out badges to just about anybody they felt like giving one to. Security guards, political supporters, criminals.
So who collects this kind of stuff, Rick?
You know, I talk all the time about it's a really, really, really small market, some things. Believe it or not, this is a pretty big market. There's a lot of people that collect vintage badges. It's big enough market for them to make some incredible fakes. How much you want for them?
Like to get $850 for the pair.
My big concerns are they're fake. I mean,
They're definitely not fake.
I run a pawn shop, and the day I start trusting my customers is the day I'm probably going to go out of business. I have a friend who knows everything there is to know about these. Do you mind if I go see if he's available?
No problem. These badges are no way fake. Anybody that knows anything about badges is going to be able to say, without a doubt, they're authentic.
Well, what do we got today?
Las Vegas Police and Clark County Sheriff's Department.
Oh, very nice.
So is that the kind that security guards at the casinos got?
Well, in this case, no, I think this was more advertising. G.F. Schenck was a manufacturer of badges and would do these as promos, as ways of showing what he could do. But the special deputy badge, these were juice badges. You know, that if you knew a county commissioner, if you knew the sheriff, you were not a sworn officer. you
Okay.
know. But if you had one of these and you were in a casino, you had some rights that you would never give to security guards today. These guys were armed, and if you got out of line, it was probably lucky if you made it downtown, you know. The special deputy badge did have some police powers, but only within the business in which they were working. Once you walked outside, the badge was no good. So, what are your concerns on them?
Well, if 80 or 90% of all badges are fake.
Yeah. Well, you end up looking at a number of different things. One, you want to find out, you know, is the seal right? Is the way it's put together right? Are the colors right? It's got the right hallmark on it. It's probably made out of brass, and it's been polished, which is very common at this point.
So what do you think, Mark?
From the standpoint of whether this is real, I think they're both good.
Well, thank you for confirming my 40 years of experience in collecting.
I am a badge collector myself. I actually collect museum guard badges. I like seeing local history material, and because of my interest in badges, they were just doubly neat.
Your expert has confirmed that they're real. I think $850 is a fair price to you. They're worth that.
I have to resell this. I have to make a little money. 500 is a better price.
I'm sure that would be better, but it's not better for me. Tell you what, if you make it 700, I'll let you have it.
Special deputy, really cool, but a lot of them were produced. Let me get them for $650. I think $650 is more than a fair price.
You know, I'll let you have it for that price.
Okay. All right, go right over there and I'll have someone write you up.
I'm not real thrilled about taking the $650, but I'd rather sell them to get more stuff for my California collection.
What can I help you with?
I've got some rare whistles here.
Okay. So you've been collecting these for a long time?
Yeah, seriously, about 10 years. Now I have about 1,000.
What's this one here you got? Sounds like a train.
I hear it, Chuck.
That's definitely a train whistle.
The whistles I'm bringing in today is a cross-section of very rare whistles. All of them, except one, predate 1900. I've bought and sold and traded for years. These are extras. I'm looking to get 4,500. I'd like to sell the whistles because I'd like to have some money for vacation.
This is a pretty cool collection of whistles.
They are neat inventions if you think about it. Most we see whistles now is probably sports games, but back in the day, they were really important for police. You could hear them much farther than someone could yell, and they used to use these things on the battlefield. Whistles made of bone, wood, reeds have been made for thousands and thousands of years. In the 1800s, whistles started being used from everything from trains to factories to know when you're supposed to go to work and when you got off. This is cool.
That's a World War I gunner's whistle for a torpedo boat.
Okay.
Is this a whistle revolver?
No, that's a 1845 whistle. That one's the rarest. That one's extremely rare.
I like that one the best so far.
So, what do you want for all of them?
Well, I'm looking to get the whole collection sold, so I'm looking for 4,500.
And how you come up with that price?
Rarity. They're all extremely rare.
I mean, they're cool. I mean, it's just, I know they fake a lot of these things nowadays. Some of these, anyway. So if you don't mind, I just want someone to look at them, make sure everything's cool here. Let me have me down here, make sure all these are real, and then we'll talk price, okay?
Yeah, you bet. I'm not quite sure why they're bringing a whistle expert in because, frankly speaking, there aren't that many experts in the U.S., so I know these whistles are genuine.
How's it
How you
going?
doing?
These are the whistles.
These are the whistles. Well, I hoped that among these there would be one of the General Service whistles, and there is. I thought I would bring along something that goes along with that.
Whoa.
When the first police force was created, the Bobbies, they started out carrying a nightstick, and this is one of the original ones from the 1830s, and they would carry a wooden clacker. The problem with the wooden clacker was if somebody took that away from you, they could hit you with it. That was a bad thing, So by the 1880s, they started looking at what could we use to replace the clacker, and they actually ended up with this one, the one that we still think of as the standard Bobby whistle.
Cool.
So what's your concern on them, Rick?
My big concern is, are they real?
Absolutely. In any field, it's amazing how good the fakes can get. That's nice. An extractor, that's nice.
It's my favorite one.
This was a big deal in the late 19th century. Let's see what we've got here. That's beautiful.
That one's the rarest.
In looking at all of these, I don't see anything on them that has been massively replaced. They haven't been refinished. So I think all of these are absolutely original. It's a nice little collection of early whistles.
Okay, thanks, man.
Not a problem. Good to see you, chum.
Yep.
Very good to meet you. Thank you. Ouch. All of these whistles are genuine whistles. If Rick can buy these, I think he will do fine with them. It would be a great talking item for people coming into the shop saying, what is that?
So they're all legit. What do you want for them?
4,500.
I'm not looking at quite that high. Okay. I mean, you got some good stuff here. You do. But I have to resell these, and I don't think I'm going to get those numbers out of them. So that's why I'm taking like $1,200.
Well, take this one out of the equation, and 1,200 would work.
I'd give you 1,000 without that one.
I'm sorry, 1,200's as low as I can go. That's a killer deal.
I'll go 1,100. That's the best I can do.
Okay,
Sweet.
deal.
Go write them up and leave them here.
All right, I'll meet you right up there.
Sounds great. Yeah, I'm taking $1,100 for it. It was close to the 12, and I do want to get some money together for vacation, so it's reasonable.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, why don't you guys take a look at this thing here. You know, I can neither confirm or deny what it is, but I have this old Russian friend, And I brought it to him. I go, what can you tell me about this Russian scope here? And he goes, back in the Cold War era, it was developed by the Russian government as a way to detect ghosts, okay?
You ever seen a ghost detector?
No. But I seen a ghost now.
Well, I've had the scope for almost a year now, and I got it through a partial trade for a restored Coke machine I was selling to somebody. Figure I'd start at like $500 because I don't know anything about it. I tried it to see if it turned off and on, but I don't really want to use it because I don't really want to see any ghosts.
It's really neat technology. I don't think it was ever designed to be a ghost detector. It's a 1950s Russian night vision scope. And the United States and the Russians came up with it. They were rudimentary at best. If you've used the thing, you see it doesn't really work that great. You have a really, really distorted picture. You can literally see between 30 and 50 feet away, and after that, you really can't see anything.
Yeah.
Night vision devices came out in the 1930s. They really improved it by the Vietnam War, and today, the stuff is generations ahead of what this is. But I don't think they got the ghost hunting thing down yet. Does it work?
It worked. Well, look through there if you notice how it's like green.
There's Chum. This is what you look like at night vision.
This is what I look like at night, too.
How much you want for it?
Well, I was thinking, like $500. Where are you at now?
I'm at $40.
Oh, no, you're kidding, $40.
I'll be lucky if I can sell it for $75.
Really?
There was tons of this stuff sitting in warehouses that they didn't use anymore. That's what this is. So all this stuff started showing up in the 90s.
I tell you what, give me $60 for it.
I'm at $45. I'm gonna sell this for $75.
Solid at 45. All right, let's do 45.
Sweet.
All right, man. Enjoy it.
Go right 'em up, Chum.
All right, come on.
Okay. I'm taking $45 because I figured, any money's better than no money. At least go have some lunch or something.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Got a pie plate badge. It's produced in the 1930s in Chicago. Al Capone's group in the St. Valentine's Day Massacre wore badges very similar to this. I'm not saying it was this one. Coming down to the pawn shop today to sell my pie plate badge. To me, it's just been sticking around in my desk drawer for many years. I'd like to get about $400 for the badge, but I would take probably a minimum of $300.
Well, it's definitely cool. Where in the world did you get this?
Well, my father gave it to me in the 60s.
I mean, it is neat if it's 1930 Chicago police, because they really weren't a police force. They were all on Al Capone's payroll, every one of them. The federal government actually considered going in and replacing the police department in Chicago.
In Prohibition-era Chicago, mobster Al Capone ran the city. This badge is tied to a really interesting period in Chicago history. If it's real, I'll have no problem selling it.
You would not believe how many badges are faked. You can't blame someone. This little piece of metal creates a lot of power for a person. Because in 1930 Chicago, the cops could beat the hell out of you and you couldn't do nothing about it, period. There was 20 fakes for every real one. How much were you looking for?
I was hoping to get around 3 for it.
Let me get someone in here and take a look at it if you don't mind. I just want to make sure it's real, everything's legit, and I got one guy who knows everything about these, okay?
That would be good.
Thanks.
Very good. I'm happy to have an expert come in because I'm pretty certain it's going to be found to be authentic.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, Mark, how's it going?
I'm the administrator of the Clark County Museum System. Well, what have we got? The interesting thing about the pie plate style is they used this for 50 years in Chicago.
And isn't it true that Al Capone used fake badges similar to this?
Everybody used fake badges similar to this. Most of the badges that you see are probably fakes. In terms of this particular badge, C.H. Hansen is the correct hallmark on it. It's a good hallmark. Copper numbers, very common on these. That's the way they made them. The pin is the correct pin. It is and isn't real.
Okay.
The problem is, it's not Chicago PD. This is a badge that would have been worn by the private security hired by the Armour Packing House. Armour was one of the largest packing houses at the Chicago stockyards, and each of the major packing houses had their own security force. If you were a security guard, you were a deputy sheriff at the same time. That gave you a certain level of police powers, but you only had those powers within the confines of the business that you were working for.
I see.
It's not a particularly rare badge.
Thanks, Mark. So, how much do you want for it, now that we found out it's only sort of a police badge?
I think 300 is a fair price for a badge for some collector.
Probably around 125.
Ooh.
It's not actually PD, so
I might take 175 for it.
I'll meet you in the middle at 150.
Couldn't go to 160.
No, 150 would be tops. That's it. I'm done with it.
Okay, 150. It's a deal.
Okay. All right, let's go write it up.
Thank you.
Meet you right over there.
Well, I was pleased to find out that it was authentic, and I think $150 was a good offer, and I'm happy with that. I think we both win.
What's going on?
It's not a birdhouse.
Oh, no, I know it's not a birdhouse.
Chicago Police call box.
Cool. So where'd you get it at?
A friend of mine had a bet on a game. He lost. He didn't really have the cash. Here's what I got. And
I hope he didn't owe you a lot of money.
I decided to come to the pawn shop today to sell my 1930 Chicago call box. I need the cash for my own wedding, which is coming up in a couple of days here.
I mean, just imagine being in Chicago during the 30s, which is like the peak of, you know, the bootlegging gangster days, and you're a lowly policeman, and Al Capone's guys chasing you down, and you actually have to run down the street, get your keys out, unlock the box, pick up the phone, and, you know, oh, I dialed the wrong number. Hold on. It was the only thing they had, so.
Better than just whistling.
Yeah. Police call boxes were used from the late 1800s all the way up to the 1970s, until they got phased out by police radios. This is the kind of thing I can see somebody getting restored and actually using as the phone in their house. So it could be a great little project for somebody. It's in fairly good condition. You know, they were built strong because the police didn't want people breaking into them, making phone calls, messing with the police department. So, I mean, they're built almost like a safe. Any idea what you want for it?
I'll take 1,000 for sure.
Yeah, you're not getting anywhere close to 1,000.
Not worth that, huh?
Not in the least. You're more in the $200 range, my friend. Chicago's a major city, New York, Boston. Everywhere that had a big city, they had to have these, so they're not that uncommon.
I mean, from my point of view, it has, you know, some character to it and sort of has an attitude. Could we maybe go 250?
I'll tell you what, man, we'll do 225.
That'll pay for the limo. I guess I can do that.
All right, man.
Okay, good.
Let's go write it up.
We got 225 in the pocket. I'm good with that. And it'll keep myself and the bride happy for the wedding. So I'm good.
Hey, what can I help you with?
I have here a beautiful piece of American history. It's a pedal car.
It sort of looks like your car out in the parking lot.
I came down to the pawn shop today to sell my vintage pedal car. The reason why I want to sell it is because it's been collecting dust in my garage. I'm hoping to get around $1,000. I probably will go down to as low as maybe $500.
Where did you get this thing?
I got it at a garage sale. Some old gentleman had it for years.
Pedal cars are really cool. Some pedal cars are worth tens of thousands of dollars.
From what I've researched online, I know the more contemporary pedal cars are made out of plastic.
Yeah, they're made of plastic, and they're ugly.
Well, this is actually, as you can tell, is made out of metal.
Yeah, all solid steel.
Pedal cars are actually a good piece of Americana, made to last forever.
Steel pedal cars go all the way back to the 1890s. A lot of craftsmanship went into making the classic models. And if a kid was lucky enough to have one, it was probably his favorite toy. I really like the pedal cars. I mean, I had a metal fire engine back in 1969. In most pedal cars, you can date them just by the design at the front end of the car. See how this looks like late 50s, early 60s, something like that?
Yeah.
What were you looking to get out of it?
$1,000.
Usually in one this good a shape from like late 40s, even the 50s, I'd probably pay that. But the problem is, this is from the 2000s.
They make these?
They still make these. It's a company called Instep, and they still make metal pedal cars. Old pedal cars are super collectible, and I pay good money for ones that are in terrible shape. But unfortunately, this is just a modern toy that someone did a great job making it look like a classic. Yeah, these things are like 150 bucks new.
Come on.
I mean, if it didn't say Instep right there, if it said Murray or one of the other old pedal car makers, I would have jumped all over this thing because it is in beautiful shape.
Right.
But the reason it's in beautiful shape is it's new. How much did you pay for it?
Well, now that you're telling me this bad news, I'm kind of happy that I didn't pay too much for it. I bought it from the gentleman for $25.
I'll give you 50 bucks and I'll give it to one of my grandkids.
All right, give me 75.
I'll give you 60 bucks.
All right, 65.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, you want to write them up, Pops?
No.
Yeah, that's right, you don't do that.
Would I be more careful in the future? Yes, but really, what have I lost today? I mean, I'm walking out with my pockets full, so it's a good day.